Telosa, America's $400 billion future city. Imagine a vast metropolis with cutting-edge infrastructure in the heart of the American West's desert, with precisely planned highways and streets crowded with self-driving electric cars. A metropolis with the size and diversity of New York, the connectedness and efficiency of Tokyo, and the sustainability and governance of Stockholm. A crazy multi-billion-dollar scheme to build a futuristic city with the same scope and aspirations as the Line in Saudi Arabia. Today, we'll examine Telosa, America's version of the Line, a future metropolis. The United States, sometimes known as the United States of America, commonly referred to as America, is a federal republic with 50 states in North America. The 48 contiguous states that are located in the central latitudes of the continent are joined by Hawaii, an island state in the center of the Pacific Ocean, and Alaska, a state at the far western end of North America. The conterminous states are encircled by Canada to the north, the Atlantic Ocean to the east, the Gulf of Mexico and Mexico to the south, and the Pacific Ocean to the west. The United States is the world's fourth largest country by area. Washington, which includes the District of Columbia, the federal capital region established in 1790, serves as the nation's capital. By gross domestic product, the United States is the world's most powerful economy, GDP. The country's wealth can be attributed in part to its abundant natural resources and massive agricultural output, but it owes more to its highly developed industry. The United States is the most significant individual element in international trade due to the sheer size of its economy, despite its relative economic self-sufficiency in many areas. Major sections of the global total are represented by its imports and exports. Additionally, the United States has an impact on the world economy by serving as both a source and a destination for investment capital. The nation nonetheless maintains one of the most diverse economies on Earth, giving the majority of its citizens access to one of the greatest levels of living. Telosa is a planned metropolis that aims to not only be the city of the future, but also a whole different model for society. These proposed megacities are a response to the new issues of today's world, such as overcrowding, pollution, and climate change, and are similar in style to megaprojects like Saudi Arabia's NEOM. In order to build a vibrant city from the ground up that is planned to be inclusive, resilient, sustainable, and egalitarian for all of its citizens, these future cities want to redefine what it means to do so. The word Telosa, which means the greatest aim, is derived from the ancient Greek word telos. Telosa was created by American entrepreneur Mark Lohr and was made public in September 2001. Lohr made the bold announcement to build the planned metropolis of Telosa soon after resigning as president and CEO of American retail giant Walmart. He hopes to build a more egalitarian and sustainable future that can serve as a model for future generations through this inspiring endeavor. The world-famous Danish architect Bjarke Ingels, who was previously hired by Toyota to design a smaller smart future city in Japan, cities have so developed into significant hubs for economic opportunity, research, and education for millions of people. And while cities have helped a small number of people experience significant growth, not everyone immediately benefits from this advancement. The objective is to create a city where everyone, regardless of socioeconomic status or cultural background, will have equal opportunity for development. The core of the strategy is an economic system called equitism, which aims to realize this goal of equality. Telosa will own the entire city's land under this structure, and its residents will have the ability to construct and sell homes on top of it. In an ideal world, land values will increase as the city does. The money raised will subsequently be used to fund public services, transportation, education, and healthcare throughout the city. As a result, the equality objective of ensuring that all residents have access to high-quality services is realized. The people behind Telosa aim to develop the city on arid terrain in the American West in the states of Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Arizona, or Texas, though the exact location has not yet been chosen. The city's location, somewhere near the Appalachian region in the east, is another factor. These issues that Telosa might have in the future have been well demonstrated by Saudi Arabia's recent building on NEOM and the Line. NEOM's construction is already running behind schedule. It was initially intended to be partially finished by 2020 and built upon in 2025. It turns out that in order to build on undeveloped desert terrain, operating facilities must first be built in order to house construction workers and their tools in the harsh environment. High heat, water scarcity, and the energy impact of building a new city from scratch in a difficult environment are among additional issues that NEOM and the Line are currently confronting. Additionally, Telosa will be entirely powered by renewable energy sources. Photovoltaic panels will be installed on the roofs of every building in the city, and Telosa will also be powered by wind turbines that have been positioned in strategic locations around the city's borders. The city is designed to produce more energy than it uses, making it a self-sufficient metropolis in terms of generating electricity. The city's highest building and an iconic landmark that will act as a beacon for the city, an observation deck, an elevated water storage system, and aeroponic farms that will provide the city with fresh produce will all be housed in the tower. Telosa's structure takes into account an urban planning and transit system that allows inhabitants to always be just just a 15-minute commute from important sites and amenities like workplaces, schools, parks, stores, and restaurants. Telosa will use a combination of well-planned transportation systems and autonomous electric vehicles. The superblock concept of urban design, whereby heavy traffic is concentrated over on the perimeter of the block while bikes and slowly moving EVs will be given priority on inner roadways, will be used by the city. And second, it keeps residential neighborhoods far enough away from busy streets to minimize noise pollution. Telosa's building will be done in 2 stages. By this stage of construction, the city would be able to accommodate 50,000 people over an area of 6 square kilometers, or roughly twice the size of Central Park in New York. Telosa will be comparable in size to San Francisco, but will have more than 6 times as many residents residing in the same region. The project is expected to cost up to $400 billion in total, with grants from the federal and state governments and prospective private investors providing the majority of the cash, which is entirely supported by the Saudi government and its sovereign wealth fund. The line in Saudi Arabia is thought to cost a similar $500 billion. Mark Lohr and his team must overcome one of the main challenges with the development of planned communities like these: funding, in order to realize Telosa's incredibly ambitious plan and vision for the future. Even though Telosa claims to be different and that its citizens would be at the center of the city's growth, a sizable number of money will still be required before this ridiculous megaproject can even get off the ground. However, despite all the mounting environmental and financial difficulties and the fact that more than a year has passed since the project was first announced, Mark Lohr and his team remain optimistic and committed to realizing their goal of creating the most inclusive and sustainable city in the world by the year 2030. What do you believe Telosa would be able to do that any OM couldn't? Do you believe Telosa will ever be fully constructed? Tell us in the comments section below. Check out our video to discover more. We appreciate your time and hope to see you in the next video.